Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the co-main event of the evening. Let's just get straight to it. Out of the blue corner, please welcome Corbin Robertson.
Corbin, the wild thing, Robertson, fighting out of Southside MMA under Pasha Stolia, Uncle Dez, and the rest of the killers at the Southside team. Diego Pereira, the Black Panther, a whole range of killers across the board. Both of these fighters took this one on very short notice, but had been training for other fights as well, so they're very, very well prepared. Both had 2 weeks to get and jump in, check each other's fighting style, but had certainly been in the wars from that piece. With Corbin, seen him fight many, many times, also trained with him. He is very, very tricky and unusually able to throw punches from different angles, but also has the same in terms of jiu-jitsu. Kind of a lanky, odd style body shape in terms of being able to throw random things up. What do you guys see from him?
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing. His body shape, he's the bloke you'd push aside at a nightclub or down a dark alley and all of a sudden you'd be sleeping. You know what I mean? It's another thing that I love about MMA. It doesn't matter what you look like. There's a set of skill sets that'll trump that.
I do like occasionally he does rock a couple of McDonald's fries socks to training every now and then. So I'm not sure what his nutrition's like, but he's always ready to go. And he's been doing this for a while, knows what to do, an absolute killer in the cage. What are you looking for from this fight, Ben?
I think pretty much what you said about Corbin. I'm not super familiar with Dimitri, but the fact that they've matched him up here, similar records. I like that they've both had 10 plus amateur fights before they went pro. I think that's kind of starting to become stock standard from quality MMA gyms.
Yeah, we talk about IMAF all the time, but New Zealand is so far ahead of the curve in terms of Australia. Like those kids there will have 15, 20 fights as an amateur before they go pro.
Corbin rocking the Havoc fight shorts.
And his opponent, Dimitri, Fogg.
And as I mentioned before, I had a chat with Dimitri, the Russian Fogg, at the back before. So it kind of threw me a bit in terms of, I know he's from South Africa, recently moved to Australia. I asked him what the Russian background, what the Russian nickname was, and he said it was his fighting style. His previous camp in South Africa reckoned he fought like a Russian, so that's where that nickname stuck, and he still carries it to this day. One of the interesting things he mentioned, he actually has a Taekwondo background, but if you've watched the 4 fights in the dark, dark depths of YouTube to find any history on him, he doesn't use it a lot. He did say he did the stand and bang and brawl style in his amateur ranks, but he did start to try and work that out into his pro career. So what we expect to see is a lot more measured striking from him, but know that he has amazing dexterity with his legs and able to use his hips. If you've ever seen Taekwondo fighters before, also a very good wrestling background. What about your history, guys? What have you had a look with him for him?
Oh, it'll be interesting to see his Taekwondo background. Obviously, we're pretty safe. There are no planks of wood in the cage right now, so no planks of wood will be harmed in the making of this fight. But again, like I got to remember back to, what was it, fight 2 or 3, where we watched him pick up a 110-kilo bloke off the ground.
Yeah. Like it was nothing.
Yeah, both of them are physical specimen.
He almost looks like Ivan Drago about to walk in here as well, doesn't he?
Hence the Russian call.
Big boy. And again, I'm sure he's done at least 4 or 5 push-ups, 4 or 5 sit-ups, a couple of bicep curls there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the co-main event of the evening. This is a pro middleweight bout, 3 by 5-minute rounds. Please welcome, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 83.9 kilograms, training out of Southside MMA. He holds a pro record of 1 win, 0 defeats. Please give it up for Corbin, the Wild Thing, Robertson!
There's a different level of intensity right now, isn't it, now that we step into the pro ranks?
Certainly
And
is.
his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 84.2 kilos, with a pro record of 0-2, fighting out of MMA FFT, Dimitri, the Russian Fogg!
KGB waits for another one.
And your referee is Peter Cassidy.
So for those at home, longer rounds, 5-minute rounds, rotational leg locks allowed, elbows allowed, all the good stuff.
Yeah, and Dimitri Fogg fighting out of family fight team in Sydney, MMA family fight team as well. So these boys are certainly going to be going in there. Right into it.
Back Corbin! On the chin!
They're both going for it.
Corbin just landed 3 flush right hands in that exchange.
Again, the mentality thinking he's going to throw him outside the cage.
Oh, he's got a crucifix. He spun out of it. That's the strength we were talking about earlier in the pre-fight.
Deep half.
And the difference we're going to see now is elbows. Where are the elbows going to come?
Oh,
right there.
And Corbin's using the cage to walk around.
Speaking of leg locks. God, that is definitely illegal.
He's got to change that position. He has to restart the position.
Ooh, diving for a heel hook.
That's the second
Twice
time.
now. Must get a warning.
That's twice in a row he's caught the cage. Corbin's not going to take that lightly. But these boys were trading kicks before. There's that Taekwondo background. And we saw this before. Usually this is a very safe piece, but Dimitri decided to lift him up and take him for a walk last time. Nice little elbows to the body, softening him up.
I'm still running those 3 shots Corbin landed
There
on
we
Dimitri's
go.
Here we
chin.
go. Once again, that's a...
Diving for the Kimura.
Yeah.
He's
That's
got the head on the wrong side of his body, though.
Very strong human to be able to pick him up and walk him over that way.
The intensity coming from Pasha's jaw here on the opposite side of the cage. Pasha is an absolute monster when it comes to jiu-jitsu and submission, so you know if there's a
Beautiful
sneak.
Big,
uppercuts. 4
dirty
in a row.
boxing like Corbin. I think he's got him rocked here. Oh, that is not good signs for the Russian.
As soon as you shake it off saying it's not hurting, it is hurting.
There's about 20 to 30 punches there in a row.
This is what we were talking about earlier. Corbin just...
Big
Elbows to the
elbows.
back of the... Elbows to the ear. That's going to make Dimitri think about his
He can
guard.
finish him here.
Oh, he's locked his arm down, so he's getting the elbows piece. Dimitri's not liking it.
Oh, he's going to have a very sore temple
Oh my
tomorrow.
God, the tactic of blocking those elbows with your head is not something his coach would recommend.
Corbin's drawn blood on the side of the head there of Dimitri as well.
Ooh, the Kimura is...
He has the Kimura locked in.
He's just got to trap one of those legs, doesn't he?
He's still got his head in front of him, which makes it really hard to finish.
But he's got his grip on the back end here, so at this point Dimitri's doing a bit of...
Beautiful.
And he's gone
Finds
looking...
the leg. He's got... Oh, no.
Kicks him off.
Just so tricky. Both Corbin stand up and on the ground. Just tricks on tricks. Chucks himself into a leg lock.
I tell you what, you got to stay impartial as a promoter. You got to stay impartial as a commentator. I tell you what, I am loving Corbin Robertson right now.
Oh, he's crunched
He's
him
always
over.
been so fun to watch. But
He's moved into side control now. He's gone into the attacking position from this point. Beautiful defensive positioning there from Dimitri. Looks over his corner, gets a few instructions.
I think Dimitri's pretty hurt and banged up right now.
Oh, Dimitri has a chin on him, mate. I've seen a few of his fights, but both of these boys. And this is where Corbin's really tricky and just throwing anything from everywhere.
Dimitri also looks like he's fatiguing heavily right now.
Yeah, we're now starting to notice too, so 2 years since the last time Corbin was in the cage.
Oh, he's going for it again on the other side of his head, is he?
Oh, 12 to 6, he's got to adjust those angles.
Is it 12 to 6 if you're going sideways?
So at this stage, his coach is calling out this throw up a whizzer. Nice little thing. And that came in place from not having hooks in place. But, mate, these guys are warriors. Good lot of head movement there.
And again, the benefit of these pro fights are 5-minute rounds now.
Yeah. The fatigue just plays such a bigger role. Yeah, Dimitri's not going after that. You know he's got to be pretty tired right now. Oh, calf kick. Oh!
Okay, we've got 20 seconds left here now. At this stage here, these boys are going at it. They've thrown everything at each other, including the kitchen sink. Nice knee up the bread basket there. 10 seconds of violence left.
Both boys screaming for a minute break, surely.
Oh, that is a huge pace for a middleweight fight. 5 minutes of carnage.
I love how Corbin has been able to take the defensive piece and make it an attacking component. We've also seen Dimitri's pure strength in there as well, being able to lift up after having the whizzer up. Taking him for a walk over to his own corner where he wants to be comfortable.
Every time he kept throwing him down, it was like Corbin had a deep enough underhook that he just took a dominant position though. And it was like, there was a couple of moments early on and then Corbin just kept using weird tricks to take advantages in all these weird positions. It was really, really fun from here to watch.
So Ben, I'm going to throw to you again right now. Everyone loves that sort of action, but you can't sustain that for another 2 rounds, surely. So as a coach, even though you know your charge right there, Corbin Robertson wins that round, what are you saying right now?
As I pick up the pace because he's done. Like, Dimitri is fatigued as you could be. If you put 50 punches on him, even if you don't knock him out, they're going to stop the fight. And we know Corbin can throw him in punches because that's how he throws his punches. But Dimitri, he's had a minute, anything could have happened.
Corbin taking center cage there. Dimitri has thrown a couple of weird kicks and also seen his leg dexterity in terms of getting the kicks up to his head too.
Both of these boys, about 26, 27 fights between them. How impressive is that?
At this stage here, he's doing a great job pushing his head. Gotten those elbows in there again. That's right, ear and A clash, up kicks to the head are actually allowed.
Oh, that's so
Triangle.
close.
Almost, he's got it in place. He's just got to clear it out a bit.
He's searching for it.
Yeah, Dimitri was able to posture his head up to escape that one.
This is where Dimitri needs to solidify his mindset a little bit, take a quick breath while he's got a dominant position, and start laying down some strikes.
Beautiful movement there, coming out the back. He's getting ready to take him down.
He pulls guard.
I think that went the opposite way. I was expecting him to fall backwards, but Dimitri did enough to push himself forward, get himself in a competent position.
And obviously, we've been really impressed with the level of amateurs lately, but we have noticed that when they were in some of those tough positions, they kind of sat it out a little bit. Corbin there decided not to sit it out. He threw that impressive reversal. But he's got to find it again right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, at this stage here, he's one of the things you can see is that Dimitri's not throwing much in terms of hands, and it's because Corbin's making him think about his legs as well.
Corbin's got him locked up in a lockdown style half guard here, where he's got his foot underneath his foot.
And here he goes, he's got that deep underhook, and looks like he's getting ready to spin out of it.
Gonna rock some 10th planet style jiu-jitsu here.
What Dimitri's doing really good here though is he's trapping that right hand, but now Corbin has gone into a half guard, and he's locking up the hands.
I'm calling it. Corbin's looking for a armbar. I'm looking for it.
Dimitri wants none of it, knowing that he has the white belt in BJJ and a wrestling background. Corbin's done enough to make him think about it. Beautiful cross, followed by an uppercut. Corbin's finding spaces for every one of those elbows. Uppercut followed by a right hook.
They're those Tim Bosch uppercuts, aren't they? They're coming through, aren't they? Oh,
Tim Bosch, I haven't heard that name for a while.
So he's still throwing those elbows in place. Beautiful balance. Nice using the Kimura to roll over, but his leg got entangled. Come out well.
So smooth.
And there's the intelligence as well, not to try and follow that over in regards of a rear naked choke, because he didn't have both hooks in.
So you had him in that little Muay Thai clinch, and there wasn't a single person in the crowd that yelled out knee.
It's because he's throwing uppercuts at the same time.
And because we've already seen 600 of them tonight already.
Everyone is on the edge of their seats knowing that this can be ended in one punch, and these guys are doing a whole bunch.
The thing I love about this fight right now that the crowd's enjoying is normally every fight they want to see a stoppage, but we've seen so many stoppages now. I actually think the crowd's enjoying watching a technical fight right now.
Yeah. One of the things said before is Corbin almost locked up a standing guillotine piece, and his coach yelled out, "No, keep going." And he unlet go of it and started throwing the knees in. You can see here, he's got constant strikes from the side of the head. He's making Dimitri think about what he's doing, which is enough to make him not want to complete this takedown.
How tough is Dimitri's head? He's got about 8,000 elbows in this fight, and he's still going.
Uppercuts, little side punches. He's doing a whole bunch more.
I'm guessing he's taking the, doesn't Russia have their own COVID vaccine or something that give them some sort of special powers? He's taking it.
Back-to-back battle of the melons between Gordon Real and Dimitri.
And this is the point about Dimitri, as I mentioned, like he can get stuck into the brawl, so he's actually quite comfortable in this piece. What he's trying to work on is actually separating and being smart with his strikes. So he is actually quite comfortable being here. Beautiful reversal. Nice knee. Elbow. Knee, elbow, uppercut. What a great sequence.
Just constantly looking to viciously attack, isn't he? If he's got a square inch, he'll throw the elbow. Or if there's a chance to throw the knee, he's throwing it. And right now, I love it, the fact that he's got his back against the cage, but he's the one that's scoring the points.
He's also using the cushion to get that little bit of extra height. Not that he needs it. Standing at 191 centimeters, so he's actually already has a 6 centimeter advantage.
So boys, I've got a question right now. Corbin, Robertson and Dimitri, are they enjoying themselves right now, or are they in a autopilot right now that they know that they're in a battle?
I think it's a meditative state. It's kind of one of the times you're not thinking about literally anything else other than what's happening in this 1 second, one moment. When they're listening, they can half listen right now because they've got barely any blood in their eardrums, and then they'll get back out there, and second to second, that's all they're thinking about.
Isn't it amazing how you can literally only hear one voice while you're in there, despite having 1,000 people right here throwing out their own kind of their own suggestions? It's just that main coach or that main side coach that you can kind of hear pierce through that noise, isn't it?
It certainly is. And MMA, the perfect definition of it is complex problem solving with dire consequences. And we're seeing that tonight. One little error can be the difference between being put on your back and winning the fight.
So Craig, how does Dimitri win this fight?
From this point here, he certainly has the strength in the wrestling piece, but in saying that, he has the power to knock out. I have seen that. Corbin is dictating the aggression piece here, so it's trying to find a way to keep Corbin pressured without taking damage and causing a hell of a lot of infliction and pain. So he's not out of this fight by any measure. It's just a matter of him being able to get into his fight and staying away from Corbin's weapons. Corbin is dangerous in the clinch and also on the ground. So finding that wrestling piece and doing the ground and pound.
Oh, beautiful. Switching stances.
I think Dimitri needs to realise to win this fight, he's got to risk getting finished. He's just got to bite down the mouth and just attack for something that might win him the fight. But whether he's got that much in his actual system...
Corbin's got a second win.
Corbin has. Very, very good. And this is just absolutely entertaining.
So Ben, we see Corbin switching stances a little bit. What's the game plan there? Do you think there's much?
I think he's just trying to pick his shots. When he throws them, they land, so he's not wasting extra energy. Because if you look, he's throwing a 3 and he's usually landing 3. It's not like he's winging past anywhere.
Uncle Des has a great system in terms of numbers, so most of their things come in lots of 3. Unless you're confident you can still stay in the pocket and keep going. Beautiful jab, finding its mark right on the nose there.
You know what I'm seeing right now at a Corbin Robertson? I'm seeing a Caucasian version of Nick Slick Kepu right now. And he's exactly right, that Des Meyer damage system, you know, the 3 punches.
One thing I'm seeing a lot of is Dimitri actually physically looks at his corner a fair bit. Clearly it's something that he's comfortable with, not something I would like, but he certainly is taking direction from his corner. And Corbin's not giving him any time either. Beautiful cross there from Dimitri.
Did you notice a little bluff Dimitri threw then? He was looking down at the stomach and then came straight up the top. Played a little bit of possum there.
So you can hear from the corner, Uncle Des called out 1-6. I'm not telling you what that is, but he's certainly throwing out combinations. Bit of gamesmanship here, both throwing their hands on their hips here. But we know that Dimitri's being tricky here as well. He's making Corbin fall into his game. Nice. Nice overhand right there. I see a right cross.
I feel like Corbin's setting up a spin kick. He keeps crossing that front leg.
Before the fight's over, I just want to thank these blokes for jumping in there and putting their bodies through this for our entertainment.
As I mentioned before, that Dimitri will be looking to keep it standing and pick his shots. From here, he's really doing that, and he's kind of slowed down the pace. I think he's trying to lull Corbin into getting into one of his sequences because, remember, Dimitri can brawl. That's what he was setting up. And that could be a fight finisher if it lands.
Yeah, you got to think again, both of these boys have had about 12 or 13 fights each. They have to have that odd trick that they can pull out.
So from that point there, Corbin put his hands on his hips and his corner applauded him in base. Sorry, I just told him, no, hands up, don't fall for it. It's a great lot of sportsmanship here, but what talent these boys have.
Yeah, Corbin seems to be slowing the pace down, but I tell you what, Pasha Stolia in his corner is ramping up the amount of directions he's giving right now. Wow!
Oh. He's ready for it,
he's ready. Package. Come on, boys, let's go. A minute to go. Starting to talk to each other now. Dimitri wants it.
Dimitri's certainly earning his nickname right now, his fight name, the Russian, that reason. You can see the intensity and craziness coming on his face. He wants Corbin to engage and make this a fist fight and brawl piece. Open hand slap.
Oh, he gives it back to him. Let's go,
beautiful.
boys. 30 seconds.
Here we go, hands up. I'm loving the gamesmanship here. Boom. Going for that long takedown.
I don't know who booted the crowd there, but it wasn't me.
It's a first day MMA fan.
But from this point here, it's the ground and pound I mentioned before that Dimitri from the wrestling has to try and finish it off. Corbin wants none of it.
I love that from Corbin. He knew there was 5 seconds to go, but he didn't want the end of the fight to be in that position.
Yep. And from that, now that is how you forge long-term friendships.
And we're seeing a smile by Pasha Stolia.
Oh, boys, I got to stand for this one. That's amazing.
Great fight, great fight.
Are you not bloody well entertained by this? XFC 50 bringing home the milestone event with a fight like that.
Tito Carl in his corner there. That was sick.
Right, man.
That was sick.
That was absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Hey?
2 years out of the cage.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah. This is just a stepping stone back down.
Corbin Robertson there saying that he wants to go back down to welterweight after this fight. Just a little stepping stone for him. He's confident he's got the decision. And now they're enjoying themselves. Now the fight's finished, they get to enjoy themselves.
What an absolute war. So good to see that level of professionalism. And as I mentioned, that's where your friendships are forged. If you can punch each other for 15 minutes, that's it.
Let's not forget that Dimitri stood and took about 1 million elbows.
Oh my God.
Like, because the last round didn't show that. But do not forget, like, probably over 100 realistically. Crazy. What a noggin on him.
The thing I love
The
about
winner
that
of this fight by unanimous decision. In the blue corner, Corbin, the Wild Thing, Robertson.
Took massive risks, but they were all calculated risks. They never really put themselves in that position where they were going to get completely KO'd or something ridiculous was going to happen. So, again,
I think that's the big step up between the professionals and the amateurs. The amateurs have really cool highlights because they're not quite aware enough that they're putting themselves in that huge danger. Or after 15 fights, you start becoming a bit more wily.
Rewatch that second round. There's about 30 uppercuts unanswered in one sequence. Dimitri is a beast of a man.
I think Dimitri kicked Corbin's dog or something. He's keyed his car. He's done something to upset him. And again, when you're matching fights, the first person you're calling tomorrow is Dimitri, saying, mate, that was absolutely phenomenal. Can we have you back on the show again?
I agree, mate. Both of these guys.
Okay, Wild Thing! Give it up for Corbin, Wild Thing! Welcome back to the ring, brother!
Oh, it's good to be back. 2 years off, a few injuries, and fucking what a fight to be back.
What a fight against the Russian.
Pozdravliye.
Did this go the way you thought it was going to go tonight, Corbin?
Oh, yeah, I thought I'd be able to stuff his takedowns, but he's a strong cookie, eh? Yeah, he's strong.
There was quite a few takedowns that I think, you know, as Pasha Stoya students, we both have witnessed and experienced, and he did quite well. You know, did you think that he was going to go for those?
Yeah, I thought he was going to come with a strong wrestling presence, and after he took me down the first time, I knew every time he took me down, I had to do damage. So I just tried to elbow the shit out of him.
Yeah, those elbows looked quite dangerous, if you ask me. Now, it's been a long journey for you. You know, are you happy to be back? Is this where you want to be? Are we going to do more? Who do you want to fight next?
I'll get down to 77. This was just a stepping stone. I think that's Dimitri's natural weight as well. But in preparation, I'd like to thank Resistance SS, who helped me with all my strength and conditioning to get to this point. They come out tonight. I'm happy.
Excellent. My man, congratulations.
I'm with the Russian now. I speak very little Russian, Dimitri, but I'll say pozdravliye to you. In other words, congratulations on what was a terrific fight. What can you take out of this fight into your next event?
To be honest with you, we haven't stopped training for the last 3 months, and we accepted this fight on 2 weeks' notice, and I thought, well, look, let's scrap it out. And that's what we did. We came to put on a show. Fortunately, it didn't go our way. And my gas tank is generally a lot better than this. I'm not too sure what happened tonight. But at the end of the day, all credit to Corbin. Came out strong, and he had answers to everything I threw at him. So he's got a good future ahead of him. I might be on a 5-star losing streak at the moment, but I'll be back. I'll get that win. Don't you worry. Keep being behind me where you can. And thank you for my team, the guys who do my strength and conditioning, Maddie at Movement S&C, as well as the fight dietitian for keeping me in good shape. But thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Make some noise for the Russian. Pozdravliye to Russian and his team.